All right, greetings all. Thank you for returning to my channel. I'm Professor Noonie. Allow me to welcome you back to the Fight Night Champion Custom Boxers BareKnuckle Tournament. We have the second semi-final matchup in Group A, which is between Adonis Johnson Creed and Biggie Smalls. Both men going through not so easily defeated fighters to get to where they are right now. Very much looking forward to this match. Again, unfortunately, unable to interview both fighters due to the coronavirus and the pandemic we're in. However, we have been able to get the fight to occur in front of a sold-out crowd within the Royal London Theatre, thanks to it being outside of the US, loopholes here and there. If there's a will, there's a way, I should say. So because of that, we have been able to find a venue which will house people to watch the fight live and give a little bit more of an energy boost to both fighters, perhaps, if that's something that they rely on. So, before we get the fight started, as always, we take a look at the tournament bracket as it currently stands. And again, I have to warn you, as always, if you have not watched the previous fights, please pause here or stop the video. Go pick up where you left off from. If you've never seen any of the fights, I do have a playlist for you all. All of our broadcasts are recorded and put onto the Professor Noonie YouTube channel. So you can start off at round one, fight one, where George Bush took on Black Magic. That was also a really, really good fight. I highly recommend you watch that if you haven't. But if you are caught up with the current progress of the tournament, or rather the current standings, or you simply don't care about the rest of the fights, you only care about this one, then to bring up to you the current standings, we have Adonis Johnson Creed taking on Biggie Smalls. The winner of that will take on George Bush, and that will bring us to our finals for Group A. We still have two matches to broadcast to you folks in Group B, and that is Vin Diesel versus Frankenstein and Jason the Game Taylor versus Kimbo Slice. Very exciting matches to look forward to. That is not to say that what we have currently is lacking that. It is very much anticipated by the folks out there. So I believe without further ado, we should definitely get this match started, as I'm very, very much looking forward to who will be the remaining two fighters in Group A, as well as who will be the remaining two fighters in Group B. And most importantly, who will be the overall two remaining fighters, the best from each group, taking each other on. That also I cannot wait for. But here we are with the the attributes of each of the fighter, where they weigh, or what they weigh, what their height is, where they reign from. Adonis Johnson Creed coming in from Los Angeles. Both of these fighters coming from the United States of America. Biggie Smalls coming from the exact opposite of the country, the completely other side of the country, coming from Brooklyn, USA. Crowd really, really digging Biggie Smalls, but I do believe they're favoring each fighter in their own way. This crowd may be split. I do apologize. We do not have the referee mic'd up. However, I'm fairly certain that he's just simply telling them, keep this fight clean. Although your knuckles are not padded with any type of glove, do not do any low blows and protect yourself at all times. With that being said, let's get this fight going. Both men meeting up right in the center of the ring.
That's it.
Biggie Smalls playing really, or rather fighting really reserved.
Don't stay in one spot.
Echoing George Bush's performance last fight. Although I do believe his trainer is yelling at him to not stand in one spot. Johnson although he's on the outside, he appears to be the one that's cutting off the ring. Both men missing with a couple of shots there, out of range, perhaps anticipating the other will try to leap in with a sneaky punch. Biggie pushing Johnson Creed back. Sidesteps there, but doesn't throw anything out. I'm fairly certain Apollo was either in the crowd or somewhere watching, cheering on his son. Trying to tell him, do the Creed name proud. win this fight. Not sure if there will be a symbolic result of this match, as Creed coming from Los Angeles, and we know the ultimate fate of Biggie when he was in Los Angeles his last time. Let's hope that fate will have a different turn of fate during this fight. It appears that the men wait for the later half of the round in order to start really throwing out their punches. Both fighters are really, really careful. It appears they are throwing out pretty wild swings, but it's almost as if they know that they're not within range of a punishment.
You're in control of this fight. Don't get careless out there. Keep boxing smart. Much better. Much better. That was good.
You need to move your head more, okay? Side to side. Lean to the side, then boom! Counterpunch.
All right, start of round 2. Both men going right into the center of the ring, coming out a bit more aggressive this time around. Bringing up the CompuBox numbers for the last round. Creed having better body shots connection, better body shot connection, throwing out more and connecting a bit more. But for headshots, Biggie appears to be taking it ever so slightly.
Shake it up.
Also, if you heard there, Biggie Smalls' trainer telling him to do some counter punching, sidestep out of the way, and while he is doing that, he is not following up with any kind of counter. Able to slip that punch and come in with an uppercut. Biggie has a little bit of success right there. It appears that both of these men having similar fighting styles. Very difficult to see who has the advantage. And it's almost as if they're fighting themselves. So since they're so familiar with this style of fighting, they're somewhat expecting what the other to do, and perhaps they're a bit correct in their anticipation. Both men catching each other with slight openings in their defense, here and there, trying to wither the other one down. While Biggie is coming in with those slips, weaving underneath those punches, a lot of those he's leaving out there on the floor. He is not countering. He's not taking advantage of some of these slips of his. Creed aiming for the body there, maybe trying to slow Biggie down, perhaps recognizing his ability to go underneath his punches. Maybe a little bit grateful that Biggie is not taking advantage of those openings. But coming up at the end of round 2, let's go to the corners.
Don't fight his fight. Jab and move. Jab and move. You're doing fine. He's just beating you to the punch, that's all.
Listen to me. I need you to keep busy. I need more than one punch now. This fight is even. So I need to see more than one punch out there.
All right, start of round 3. Bringing up the CompuBox numbers from the last round, we can see that Biggie Smalls is connecting with his punches at a better and higher rate than Adonis Creed, throwing out fewer shots and connecting them, or rather connecting more. Bringing up the overall fight totals, he's sticking true to that, having overall a higher percentage of hits to the head and higher percentage hits to the body, but not by much.
That's okay. Pay him back.
Biggie goes for a clinch there, gets pushed off by Creed. Another slip of the punch, but doesn't follow up with anything. I'm fairly certain Creed is recognizing that, perhaps wondering why Biggie is not counterpunching him at all. And I'm fairly certain that Biggie's corner is getting very frustrated with that. There might be something that Biggie knows that we don't. Fights his way out of the corner after taking somewhat of a big shot. Men trading shots right there. Biggie catching him with the right hook. Looks like he put some power into it. But Creed is still coming forward.
That's okay, let's go.
Very good right hand by Biggie Smalls. Misses the uppercut. Another good right hand by Biggie. But he does catch an uppercut for his troubles again. Catches Johnson with the right hand there. And a jab interrupts Johnson straight. 10 seconds left in the round. Catches Johnson with another right. End of round 3.
You want this fight? You want this fight? We got it. You gotta stay busy out there.
Listen, I want you to pick his jab. That's how you pick his jab. When he throws the jab, where's your body working? Hit the body.
All right, start of round 4. We see Teddy's scorecard has Biggie Smalls winning the last 2 rounds, but gave the first one to Creed. So this match is not decided by any means. This is still a really close fight as it stands currently, though. And again, I do apologize. Our live satellite feed is somewhat delayed. It's streaming all the way from London, England. But please bear with us, folks. But we still have our broadcast booth everything appears to be operating at 100%. So fear not, we will not lose connection, or rather you will not lose connection. I will still be here calling this fight for you. This somewhat even fight. Stamina appears to be around about the same for each fighter. Biggie goes for a clinch there, perhaps trying to interrupt Creed's flow. Not really seeing a huge advantage for either fighter. This may go all the way. This may go a full 10 rounds, which would only be the second fight in our entire tournament to do so. Smalls inching his way to the right to try to get out of that line of pressure. Catches Creed with a good uppercut. Both men run up right into each other's faces, but just guard. Go right into guard. Biggie catching Creed with a couple of good shots. Cutting off the ring there. Although he does get caught with another uppercut. That seems to be Smalls' sort of lack of foresight as far as the uppercuts go. He appears to be getting hit with that more often than any other punch. That was a really good left hook by Creed. Blocking the body shot, 10 seconds left in the round. Weaves out of the way of that uppercut, but doesn't follow up. End of round 4, let's go to the corners.
Circle. Don't stand in front of him. I need to follow.
I need to see the combinations from you. Let's do the combinations. This fight is too close. Let's throw the 1, 2, 3s, okay? 1, 2, 3s.
All right, start of round 5. Bringing up the CompuBox numbers for the last round, we see that Biggie's going hard on the body and very successful at it. Definitely out punching Creed in that regard. However, in the headshots, it appears to be somewhat evenly matched. Taking a look at overall punches thrown throughout the entire fight, they seem somewhat close. Biggie really picky with the body shots he's throwing out there. Appears to be going for the head more often than not. Creed throwing out many more punches, but seems to be on par with his connection rate. As a result, this is somewhat evenly matched, and we are somewhat halfway through the fight. Biggie gets a good little punch in there. A little get off of me, if you will. Again, folks, I do apologize about our live satellite feed. That was a really good right straight by Creed. Appears to not wobble Smalls at all, but he certainly acknowledged that it was somewhat solid. In fact, he actually goes for the clinch, and Creed pushes him off of him. Then get off. I have plenty of gas in the tank. I'm throwing out far more punches than you and connecting somewhat the same rate as you are. Biggie goes for an overhand right, does not connect. Weaves a little bit, does catch Creed with an uppercut there. Not a whole lot of power behind it. Creed attempts a weave of his own, but gets caught with the left uppercut. Rolls reverse for a moment there. 10 seconds left in the round. End of round 5. Let's go to the corners.
This is a wipeout. You're winning this fight. Estás ganando. Just keep doing what you're doing. You got this. Just keep doing what you're doing. Nice round. That was good. Keep that up and we'll have it.
Okay, listen. When he misses you with a punch, counter. Okay, listen. I want to see that straight right. Throw the jab and then straight down the middle. Cut that jab.
All right, round 6 commencing.
Hand up.
While we have the opportunity, bringing up the CompuBox numbers for round 5, see that Biggie Smalls is certainly maintaining his higher hit rate. That seems to be what he's holding on to, and maybe what's motivating him as to continue on fighting, because Creed is throwing out many shots, and a lot of them are connecting, but Biggie's still standing. Bringing up the overall punches thrown throughout the entire fight, you can see how many more punches have been thrown by Creed, and yet his connection rate is nearly as high as Biggie's is. Biggie's still standing. Actually, I should say both fighters are still on their feet. None have gone down yet. And we are past the halfway point of this fight. We are now in the second half of this 10-round battle. Nice little left hand by Creed. Nice little right hand by Biggie. You heard in the corner there, Biggie's trainer strongly urging him to please counter hit. I have to echo those sentiments because he has found some openings, or some opportunities rather, but not really capitalizing, and now it appears that he's clinching. He may be fatigued a bit more than Creed is. Biggie backing up a little bit. Swinging out there, missing. Out of range. You hear Creed's corner yelling that Biggie is tired. It certainly appears so. Biggie going for a clinch. Hearing the hammering sound indicating the 10 seconds left in the round, but now the round has ended. Let's go to the corners.
Throw him off with head movements. That's it. Throw him off with head movements. Jab. Jab and throw. Throw to the body, then to the head. Then finish.
All right. You are dominating this fight. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. There you go.
Start of round 7. This is going quite the distance. It has the potential to go to the decision. and being only the second fight in the tournament to do so. Bringing up the CompuBox numbers for round 6. We can see that Creed has taken a lead a little bit in the overall hit percentage for the head at least. Biggie Smalls going for the body, trying to bring down Creed's energy. Bringing up the overall fight totals, we can see that Biggie is still dominating the field of overall higher percentage rates. But you have to wonder, what is Creed doing that he's throwing out that many punches and still has that much energy left? Quite a bounce in his step. This is very much impressive. Catches Biggie with a left hand there. Wow, Biggie weaves and finally hits him with the counter punch. Something his corner is desperately wanting out of him. I believe if he continues that, he may pull out a victory, as he has the footwork down, but he does not have the counter punching down. Goes for one there, swings a little bit too slowly. Then trading shots there. Goes for an uppercut. Luckily, he was out of range, as Creed went for a punishment but couldn't get him. Both men trade uppercuts. This fight is very somewhat evenly matched. Although according to Creed's corner, he is dominating this fight. That may be so. Good sidestep, and he follows up with a straight right. 2 counters in this round so far. Perhaps saving the counter punches for the last rounds, the last few rounds, but he is getting caught with a couple of hits out there. Coming up at the end of round 7, let's go to the corners. Very fatigued Smalls is.
Beautiful. I want another round like that. This is your fight, okay? You're in complete control of this fight.
Keep your hands up, all right? You have to keep your hands up. Throw the body, then to the head, then finish to the body.
All right, start of round 8, looking at the Teddy scorecard. He has Johnson winning only by 1 round. Very evenly matched. Very evenly matched overall. Looking at the CompuBox numbers for the last round, we can see that Creed is pulling ahead. Round by round, he is connecting a bit more, perhaps realizing that even though he's throwing more out there and he's not that fatigued, he needs to win on points, as it doesn't appear that Smalls is going down. Looking at the overall fight totals, we can see that Biggie throwing out fewer shots, connecting more, but definitely going for the headshots there. Biggie in the corner, putting his guard up, trying to lean out of the way. Johnson going for the body there. Biggie tries to go for a clinch there. Goes for an uppercut, leans on the ropes. Creed really putting in those punches. Both men, it appears, trading shots. A jab here, a straight there. Catches Smalls with what appeared to be a left hook, difficult to see.
There you go.
I don't think it's so much as the fighters are not hitting counters. I think they're just out of range most of the time. It seems that more shots are being landed by Creed this round. He's going for the body, trying to take the wind out of Biggie. We are coming up on the last 2 rounds, if we make it there. 10 seconds left. Coming up in the end of round 8. Misses with an uppercut. Let's go to the corners.
Listen, you need to move your head more, side to side, okay? I want to see that head.
It's all yours, baby. But you gotta keep working. Keep working, and this is your fight. Don't get lazy out there, okay?
start of round 9. Oh, that was a pretty good left hand by Biggie. And a not so bad straight by Creed. Catches Creed with a pretty good leaping right hand. Both men appeared still being very careful. Creed clinching there. Biggie stepping out of the way of those big shots. Creed attempting to weave out of the way of that uppercut, but still gets caught on his way back. Good body shot by Smalls, but then a good right hand by Creed there. Smalls definitely attempting that counter punch. Smalls definitely needs to be a bit more careful if he's going to try to do some kind of punishing shots. Catches him with a slight left uppercut. Biggie against the ropes, but Creed is the one that goes for the clinch. Good left hook by Creed. Creed backs up to the corner at his 6 o'clock. Biggie follows, but then Biggie backs up. These small little skirmishes going from side to side of the ring. It's very, very difficult to call this fight. At any moment, one of these shots may be the one to knock the other person down. Biggie almost looking like he's trapped in the corner there. He takes a body shot. He does get somewhat of a counter in, coming up at the end of round 9. Oh my goodness! With 1 second left, he gets knocked down. A right straight to the left temple. Biggie Smalls on the mat. Cannot be saved by the bell. Will he make it up? He does.
Dig in deep. Dig in deep. You got it in you, champ. Nice work. Keep it up. These guys never felt a beating like this. Keep the pressure on.
This is it. That's all we got. One more round. Give it all you got now, okay? Strickland, don't stand in front of him.
All right, start of round 10, the final round. Biggie Smalls needs a knockout to win. Knocked down with only 1 second left in the last round. Absolutely incredible. Bringing up the CompuBox numbers. They're about evenly matching the body shots, but Biggie is stunned and knocked down to the mat again. Lo and behold, it's from a body shot. Well, Biggie, and another shot to the back of the head. That's illegal. That ought to be a point deduction. I'm not sure if the ref saw that as he's counting. Biggie, if he can make it up. 7, 8, does he make it? No! Biggie Smalls has been knocked out in the 10th and final round. Made it all the way to this round to get knocked out. What an unbelievable fight. Unbelievable fight. Somewhat evenly matched until the later rounds, 8 and 9. The fight seemed to be going back and forth. It was evenly matched all the way up to round 8, at which point I guess Creed kicked it into high gear, started whittling Smalls down little by little, got the knockdown in round 9 with only 1 second left, which was a tremendous feat, completely unexpected. And as a result, it just was too much. Smalls was brave enough. You have to give him credit. He did come out in round 10. And as weakened of a state as he was, he did get up off his corner seat, his stool, went right into the center of the ring, started fighting until he could fight no more. You have to give him a round of applause for that. He made it all the way to the semifinals. However, Creed His somewhat similar Bush-like approach to the fight got him the victory, and as a result, he gets those golden, glorious, well-deserved 4 points, which represents a knockout. You ought to know at this point. If you don't know, now you know. And it appears that we have George Bush versus Adonis Johnson Creed as the finals in Group A. This is somewhat appropriate as both of these people, both of them, fight pretty similar. Creed and Biggie, they fought about evenly, if I don't say so myself. Bush, every single fight of his he has a very slow and methodical approach, very cautious, very careful, very delicate, if you will. And Creed, taking a page out of the Hawk's book, going full throttle. However, he always appears to have plenty of energy left in reserve. He does not appear to be fatiguing that much, and I believe that's what's going to make this particular matchup very, very interesting and exciting. I think it couldn't have been better between any two other fighters. I'm so looking forward to this. With this completed, we now will move on to Group B in our next matchup. It will be Vin Diesel versus Frankenstein. We will find out who will be making it to the finals of Group B in our next fight. So with that being said, thank you all of those who came to check out my video for watching my video. I appreciate all the views and notoriety I can get. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and as always, take care and God bless.